Yo, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to the Ultra Squad. Today we're here at the part 3 of What If Issei Had Ultra Instinct. Now, you guys really love this series, and I have an actually announcement to make. I'll be actually making, well, kind of like finishing this series up kind of quickly, of course. Now, it's not going to be in this actually part. I'm just going to actually keep on uploading and focusing on this actually What If, right, until I actually have it finished. Now, it won't be long, like actually 10 actually episodes or something like that. I want to actually try to finish it at around at like episode 5 or something, or around episode 4, of course. Because like I have other what if I need to make, and I can't actually stick on actually this one, and I need to actually re-speed it actually up, guys. So without further ado, let's get right into this what if. Now, the last part we left off was actually Issei helping Reyes Proj out again in the rating game against actually Riser, as Reyes was actually winning against Riser, but Riser's regeneration was actually another thing. It was actually so hard for them to defeat him. It got to a point where Issei had to come in and help with them by actually shooting an airstrike strike towards Riser's heart, stopping it, which made it where Reyes and Akano wins by combining the two attacks, just defeating Riser. So yeah, that was the last part we left off, so let's actually continue. Right now we see Issei and actually Asia basically preparing actually a tea for actually two guests that they were actually gonna actually have. As they're actually preparing tea, they will actually see two magic circle in the middle of the room. As immediately two actually figures will come out, which will be Gabriel and Michael. Michael would actually greet Issei, while also Gabriel will just go up and just hug him and pretty much smother him in between actually her. Go on, guys. But anyways, as we would just see the two of them basically, or actually kind of the four of them actually having actually tea, as Michael will be actually telling Issei about actually that two exorcists will be coming to this town to actually kill it actually, or try to find actually the stolen swords actually that from the church, the Excalibur swords. As Michael did explain to Issei about how actually Freed actually stole these swords and how he's working with Kokobel, things like that, and how he actually wants Issei to actually help these two exorcists out. Issei will obviously actually say like yes, he will obviously help them out, of course. As with this, Michael will actually thank Issei for this actually help, and pretty much he actually asks him to pretty much not to intervene in this actually matter too much, but only actually intervene when actually the things get out of control, okay? Issei would actually agree, and with this, Michael and actually Gabriel would actually leave. As we fast forward about actually a few days. A few days had already passed, and Issei would be actually at home just actually chilling while actually drinking coffee. With this, his actually doorbell will ring, and Issei will open the door to see two actually hooded actually people. With this, they will actually ask if this actually this dress that they are supposed to go to, that they actually are from the church. Issei will say like, oh, so you are the two exorcists that they actually sent. With this, they will actually say yes, and heck, Issei will actually just let them in the house. Not revealing who they are yet, they will actually sit down on the couch, while Issei will actually ask who they were. So they will actually show actually their faces, as Issei will see actually, it was actually two girls, and they were actually extremely actually beautiful. One had blue hair with actually one actually highlight and green highlight. Her name was actually Zenobia. The other one had actually twin tails, orange hair, and actually violet eyes. As she actually said her name was Irina. And Issei was like, wait, Irina, wait, Irina Shido? Wait, Irina, it's me, Issei. As Irina actually took a close look at Issei, and she was actually surprised. Wait, Issei, is that really you? The two of them will have right there like a childhood friend reunion and things like that. They were happy to see each other, of course, and how they were actually doing well. With this, they will actually continue to talk about actually small things, about actually just holy swords and things like that, while pretty much Asia will come down the stairs, pretty much actually drying her hair off with a towel, and she would just say to Issei that she was finished from the bath, and she would see actually, Irina actually Zenobia. Zenobia would look at Asia, she would be actually kind of be shocked, and actually ask what's the witch she's actually doing here. Just Asia would just hear the word witch, she would actually, her eyes would just turn to that of actually horror. And actually, Irina will actually just say like, wait, which Asia? And pretty much nobody will actually explain what Asia is, and how she pretty much killed actually a devil, how she's actually traded to the whole church. And with this, she would take out her holy blade, and she would just preparing to actually strike Arthur. With this, before the blade came to actually hit Arthur, Issei would just stop it with just his bare hands, just completely with just his bare hands while even trying. With this, Issei will actually push Zenobia away and actually said to Zenobia to don't actually touch Arthur. Arthur was actually under her protection, and the higher ups knows about this, and it actually warns Zenobia if he actually lays a hand on Arthur again, they will have problems. With this, Irina will actually try to actually stop this fight and tell Zenobia to basically stop this. That was actually not like her to actually attack someone like this, and she will actually apologize to Issei, but also apologizing to Arthur too. As with this, we basically fast forward all the way to the next day, as we want to see Reyes and Sona talking to like the two exorcists, with Issei also there in the room. Also Arthur. They basically were saying that they actually came here to actually to retrieve these holy swords and pretty much to not actually intercept, of course. But this, Sona and Reyes will actually agree not to get involved in this matter, of course, since it was actually their business. But she will look towards Issei and ask, why was he getting involved? Why is Issei getting involved? Remember, she doesn't know Issei is actually an angel, so she was actually quite confused. Issei said that he was actually trying to help his childhood best friend out, and that was actually all. And so with this, before they can actually leave, Kiba will actually stop them and challenge the two exorcists to pretty much of a duel. That he has some things to settle with these exorcists, because they wield holy weapons. Not just that, the Excalibur fragments is inside the swords. So they will actually accept the challenge, and Issei will just let it be. It's just a friendly spot. So it was only just Kiba and Sergeant, of course, because they wanted to test how strong Sergeant is against these two exorcists. And let me just say this: Sergeant obviously gets obliterated by Irina, no question, of course. But Sergeant did have himself a useful ability to drain people's magic. Just Irina was basically skilled in combat. She was doing this basically nearly her whole life. While with Zenobia and Kiba will stay the same original canon, but Kiba is a little bit stronger, so he did avoid some of Kiba's attack. And Issei did tell Kiba to keep a cool mind about this. So Kiba was also keeping a cool mind and not fighting recklessly, of course. But the fight would still end up the same, to where Zenobia would win, and no, Issei would not use his perverted attack launcher on them. So no question. So yeah. So pretty much they will just leave, while Kiba will just go off on his own, basically just frustrated that he lost his fight. Now, pretty much a week has passed as basically Issei was at his house, as he was just basically looking over some papers that the angels gave to him, that he does need to do some angel work. All of a sudden, the door just burst open as just out of the blue. Zenobia would just come in and with an injured Irina. Issei would look towards Irina and be shocked and ask what happened. Zenobia would explain the whole thing to Issei, how pretty much they were attacked by Freed and Kokubyo, injuring Irina, that she was unconscious. Issei will take Irina and place her in the spare room that he had, of course. And he asked Arthur if she can heal Irina's wounds. Arthur will do just that, and she will heal Irina. And Zenobia will ask Issei what should he do. But Issei will say that with Kokubyo, that Zenobia would say that pretty much Kokubyo is at school, while the devils of this territory is fighting him. Issei will decide, and he will just say that they are pretty much going there. And to pretty much go there and help them, while he wants to make sure that Irina is okay. With this, Zenobia will go, as Issei, he will just be in Irina's room, taking care of her. Irina will basically now open her eyes and ask what really happened, while Issei will sigh in relief to know that Irina was fine. Issei would say to her that pretty much she's safe, that she was took a heavy blow during the fight, and she will ask where is Zenobia. Issei would say that pretty much Zenobia is at the school face off against Kokubyo. Irina wanted to help, but she couldn't. Her body was it was still paining her, of course. Even though she was healed, she was not actually truly actually healed. She lost a lot of energy, of course. As Issei told her to pretty much stay in at the bed, that he will be actually taking care of this actually from now on. With this, he was preparing to leave while actually Irina will actually stop him by actually grabbing his actually wrist, while she was actually looking at Issei with actually a sad expression look, and she would just actually tell Issei to be careful. Issei would do just that before Irina would pull him in for actually a kiss on actually the side cheek, and actually like smiling at him. Issei would smile back and he would actually just leave the room with as he would actually ask Arthur to take care of actually Irina. When actually Issei gets to the school, he was watching this fight. He wanted to know the situation, what was going on before he went in head blazing, gun blazing, shit like that. So yeah. So we will actually see the whole fight happening to where they were actually getting themselves bodied. While Issei there, they was getting bodied, like left and right. The Holy Swords had already merged into one, creating the ultimate Holy Sword. As basically, heck, they were having truly trouble. Kiba was there, he already locked his balance breaker. As it was just truly a hard battle, of course. Eventually, they actually did manage to pull through. They did manage to defeat actually the Hounds, the Kokobel summon, and also they were able to defeat actually Freed. While they were preparing to actually kill actually the priest, of course, that was actually in charge of this holy actually sword project. He was actually killed by actually pretty much the Kokobel, of course. As Kokobel actually said that he was actually quite of a useful man, but still he was way too curious. So pretty much the Grimmery actually Parat will actually try to fight actually Kokobel, but also actually just like what Zenora as well. As Kokobel was on a league's higher level than them, he was basically destroying them left and right. And seeing that they didn't actually boost, give them Issei was not giving them any boost, it was truly of a hard battle. Kokobel was actually now preparing to actually launch actually a holy spear towards actually like just Arcano, before actually just like Issei would jump in and actually stopping actually the attack, deflecting it of course, saving actually just Arcano. Everybody would be surprised that actually Issei actually came as they were actually pretty much actually just actually happy. Kokobel will ask who really is he, but he would sense the holy energy that was actually radiating off Issei. And he was just say like, so you really are an angel, huh? Everyone would look confused and say like, huh? An angel? What is he talking about? But this Issei will reveal his actually angel wings, about 30 of them. This would scare Kokobel, like completely just scare Kokobel. And he would just say like, wait, 30 wings? That can't be possible. That means he's superior to Michael. He's superior to me. And Issei will say like, Kokobel, you have actually gone far long enough that you have actually committed a crime that you should be actually executed on the spot. But if it weren't for actually Azazel pretty much actually telling me not to kill actually you, he wanted me to bring you in actually alive. So prepare to actually meet your doom. With this, Issei would charge towards actually Kokobel and launching actually holy actually feathers towards actually him, which Kokobel will actually try to actually block, but it pierced right through him, not killing him, but still. Kokobel was actually now getting serious and he started to use more of his actually powers. While Issei thought this was actually going to be a little bit actually dangerous, he immediately goes and power ups to his balance breaker, revealing himself to be the Red Dragon Emperor. And with this, we'll have the epic battle between actually Kokobel and Issei that we actually seen so far. Issei would demolish Kokobel. He was basically so quick and he was actually so powerful that he was basically just not even trying so hard. He was barely even boosting and he was still kicking and actually just slapping him left and right. Kokobel will actually get so annoyed at actually Issei, he prepares to actually shoot two actually holy actually swords towards him. But Issei will intercept by actually using actually his two angel wings, well kind of 30 of them actually, and forming actually a barrier protecting him. As he would just actually ask Drake to boost him actually more. When Drake started to boost him, Issei was preparing to launch his actually Kamehameha. But as Issei was actually charging it up, Kokobel would just shoot at the attack while Issei was just dodging it, and he would actually just fire the Kamehameha blast towards actually Kokobel. Kokobel would try to deflect it, but it was actually so hard and he would basically just, the Kamehameha basically went right through actually Kokobel. It was just merely just entered actually his actually stomach, not killing him of course, but still, Kokubeo lost a lot of blood. Issei will actually grab Kokubeo by the face and slam him towards the ground with his tenth that actually made a huge crater. Made it a huge crater that pretty much they have to fly. Well, the people who were actually not fighting, they have to fly backwards because their tent, like this level of this fight was actually insane. As once Kokubeo was in the crater, he couldn't move. He tried to get back up, but Issei was just stepping on actually his back and saying that if he moves, then he will kill him, of course. With this, out of nowhere, the barrier will just actually break and revealing actually the White Dragon as the Emperor. The White Dragon would say that he's here for Kokubeo, while Issei will toss actually Kokubeo towards the White Dragon and say to actually the White Dragon that he can actually have him. And he actually knows that he's actually on orders from actually Azazel. This the White Dragon would thank actually the Red Dragon and actually saying that he wished he can stay, but he's actually busy and that they will actually have that battle soon enough. With this, he would just basically fly away, as this will actually put an end to the Kokubeo actually arc, of course. As with this, we basically just go on time skip all the way to the Peace Treaty arc, right? We're now actually close around the corner around the Peace Treaty arc, of course, so this is actually pretty much good. As well, not really 2 weeks, but pretty much a few days had already passed, as everybody was actually resting up actually that battle was actually taking place. Like this actually Zenobia joined the Devil original because Kokubeo did actually spill the beans that actually God was actually dead, and yeah, and the church actually said like since Zenobia found out that yeah she can't be part of the church, so they kicked her actually out. And I think that Irina didn't actually know about it. She really did get to stay, but she heard the fact that Issei was an angel and things like this, and like it was actually just so heartbreaking, of course. So like heck. She actually kind of left the church, and actually she actually now lives with Issei, and now she actually attends Kuyu Academy. And seeing that she was actually under the protection of Issei, seeing that he was actually a high-ranking angel, yeah, this actually kind of actually is, was actually allowed. And Michael actually did actually agree, of course, because Issei can actually just train actually Irina, of course, to be actually kind of strong. And Zenobia actually does live with actually Issei. Besides actually being actually a devil, she does actually live with actually Issei. And she actually did actually apologize to Asia for what actually she actually done by name calling her and things like actually that. And so yeah, that was actually good. But pretty much the devils actually people like Reyes and Sona were actually surprised that Issei was an angel this whole time. Like Akano was not really surprised. Like I said, she knew about actually Issei's identity, but she was actually quite actually happy that he actually came to actually help them actually out. And the two of them actually did spend a bit more time together, of course, as they bonded a lot more, to the point where like Akano developed more feelings for actually Issei during this time. As right now we have to go to the parents actually teachers actually day, like the parent teachers actually day of the, I don't know what it's actually called, Parents Day, of course. I couldn't actually really care, but still, it was actually Parents Day. Issei was actually in class. His actually mom and dad was actually there. He was actually pleased to see them since ever since Issei became independent, just living by himself. He actually kind of did miss them, as this actually whole thing would actually happen normally in the anime. Issei making the sculpture and things like that. Yeah, it would be not of a sculpture of Riz, but it would be a sculpture of actually Gabriel and actually Yasuka, so that was actually something. So as this thing actually happened, he would actually meet up with actually just like Akano and actually Riz and actually explain about this actually whole actually parent-teacher thing, of course. While they were actually talking, somebody who actually did mention, right, a magic girl that was actually in the school gym, and actually Riz just said like it couldn't be. So they will actually go there and they will actually just see Seraphon Leviathan there with actually like a weird costume on, and everybody was just taking photos. But the sergeant would actually tell them to actually all scram that this was actually not like a photo photography, like something, of course, club, whatever. And he would actually kind of scold actually Seraphon for actually wearing actually an outfit like this, like that into school, and actually said if she actually has or like is related to anybody here in this school, and she actually did say she actually did. So with this, Sona will enter the school gym, and basically, yeah, we have an embarrassing moment there with actually Sona, and like seeing her actually sister, her older sister Seraphon there. Everybody was just really surprised that actually Sona actually had a sister, of course. With this, so like Seraphim actually looked towards actually Reyes, and she was actually happy to see them, but also she sensed an angel here. She looked towards Issa and she was preparing to fight, while Issa said to her that to stop that. Pretty much, she's not here to actually fight. As pretty much, Seraphim said like, yeah, okay, asking Issa about like which actually angels do and does he actually work for, and Ethan says like Gabriel. Now, like if you guys don't know this, right, this is actually going to be a little bit of a spoilers, right, so fast forward a bit. Seraphim actually hates Gabriel, like they two are rivals, so yeah, Seraphim hates Gabriel. Not in a I want to kill you, but like she sees Gabriel as a rival, so yeah. So with this, she was basically just complaining how basically Gabriel is actually so stupid and how actually pretty much like thinks she's all pretty. She's actually the prettiest one here. As Gabriel went to actually the school gym, and she was just actually happy to see Ethan. She would just come and run at you, hugging him, and pretty much Seraphim was seeing Gabriel, and the two of them would glare at each other. As this is actually going on, issei actually just walked straight out of that gym. He was not having any problems with this, of course. As pretty much since issei doesn't have an encounter with Sir Zex at all, he doesn't meet Sir Zex, and Sir Zex doesn't stay actually at issei's house. It's actually Gabriel actually does, of course. Now, pretty much we fast forward all the way to the peace treaty actually arc, where pretty much everybody was actually there. Gabriel, Michael, even Yasuka is there because she's actually more involved now, of course. As also, Sir Zex, Seraphim, and Azazel is there with actually Volley also there too, with actually Reyes and actually Sona's Parage. As pretty much the peace treaty, I'm not going to go through it. The peace treaty just stays the same, of course. It stays pretty much the same as it gets to the point where actually time basically stops. As the only people who are actually like frozen is actually like Reyes and Sona's Parage, but actually issei, Irina, Zenobia, Kiba, and the faction leaders, they're basically all good, since they're actually quite powerful, of course. So the whole Chaos Brigade will actually attack the peace treaty, the school, sorry about that, my actually voice was actually kind of was just killing me. As issei would actually be the one to fight actually with actually Volley to actually dispose of these actually musicians, of course. As Kiba and Zenobia will be the one to actually save Gasper, of course, since heck they know him. It would actually make sense, of course. While actually Irina will actually help with actually the attack on below, of course, while protecting actually the rest. As pretty much issei and actually Volley are disposing actually just these musicians. Catherine will actually make herself known, as she will actually be preparing for actually a fight, which actually issei will be the one to actually fight her, of course, as he didn't actually want Azazel to fight, because he wanted to actually test his actually powers, and Catherine was actually no joke. She was extremely powerful. Issei was actually basically just dodging actually most of her actually attacks, her snakes, of course. And issei realized that was actually the mark of actually Orpheus that he actually saw on actually her actually her whole body. While actually she was actually launching most of actually his attacks at him, issei would be actually throwing actually some of his dragon shots, hitting her, and pretty much Catherine will actually be using more actually of Orpheus' power. And this is where Azazel will actually intercept by actually helping issei actually out. As issei said that he didn't really need help, that pretty much he was actually kind of toying with actually Catherine, of course. As Azazel said okay, fine. He will leave issei alone. He would say this is your fight, I have to respect that, right? As Catherine will actually kind of get annoyed, thinking that a kid like him, an angel little pretty boy like him, can actually defeat actually her. So with this, issei says he will actually started to actually use Ultra Instinct. Issei would actually use Ultra Instinct, fine. Remember, he could only use it for actually 5 minutes, of course, and that's it. So immediately once issei activated it, he immediately with fast speed will actually attack Catherine with just actually one force punch that will actually send her crashing down to the ground. And with this, Chubby actually so injured, Chubby actually coughing out blood, saying like, how? With this, she will actually fly towards Issei, trying to attack him again, but Issei will dodge all of her attacks. As this actually went on for quite a few minutes, right? Before actually the volley actually just got so bored of this fight, he actually just went at these stabs Catherine right in the back, right? And Catherine said like, volley, you traitor! With this, Catherine will fall towards the ground, completely dead. But Issei will deactivate his Ultra Instinct, right? It's only been about 2 minutes, of course. He still has about 3 minutes left. So with this, Issei will look towards Volley and asks what was exactly that about. And he also asks, why did she call him a traitor? Volley will actually kind of like reveal himself to be actually the descendant of actually the previous actually, or kind of like the original actually Lucifer itself, showing his actually like, I don't know how many wings he had. I think it was actually 17, of course, yeah. 17 actually devil wings. That Issei said like, please devil, like 17. Are you trying to one up me, man? Like Issei reveals his actually dirty angel wings. Dirty angel wings. That everybody was there surprised. Even like third legs. He didn't know that an angel can even have more than actually like 30 wings. Like more than 20 wings. Or like, so yeah. So pretty much everybody was actually surprised as pretty much Volley 2. As pretty much we have this battle between actually Volley and actually like Issei, which Volley was actually completely outclassed by actually Issei. Issei was so powerful, and seeing that Issei had wholly actually attributes, it was actually so like Volley was actually getting injured so badly, and including Issei's boosting ability, including remember he's an angel. Boosting his holy actually attack was actually making it so hard for Volley to fight Issei right now, as he had to go on actually the defensive, which pretty much as Issei is actually chasing after Volley, he will actually launch actually his dragon shot, as he will actually thought that he had to kind of hit him, but immediately Issei felt actually his power drain, of course, out of nowhere, as pretty much he just fought to the ground. As pretty much Albion will actually just start saying divine, as he was starting to drain Issei's energy. Issei will actually get back up, and seeing that his actually energy is actually being drained, he will try to fight back while boosting himself. He will grab up onto actually Albion's wings, and he will actually start to actually transfer power towards Albion, making Volley go overdrive. With this, Issei will strike Volley on the inside, like on his chest. Directly at his chest, sorry, as he would immediately just drop out his balance break and going down to his base form. With this, Volley will actually commend Issei for actually his brute actually strength and power, that he may actually have 30 actually angel wings, but he's actually on the level of actually probably of a kind of like an ultimate class devil, but not really of a saint class devil. At least Issei said like, yes, that actually is true, that he just recently became an angel, so he's not actually he's still new to actually all of this. With this, Volley will actually jump right back into his balance break, and with this, he will actually start to chant and go into his Juggernaut drive. He will immediately go and actually, I don't really know the White Dragon actually like chant, well no, kinda I do know it, just that I don't want to actually say it because it's gonna take too long. So with this, Volley will actually enter his Juggernaut drive, and this is where things get really messy, of course. With this, Volley was actually started to destroy Issei. Pretty much Issei was having a hard time with Volley. Seeing that this was his Juggernaut drive, Issei had not, like, even though he was trained by God, right, of course, he has not truly, like, got a level of control over his Juggernaut drive, because it would drive him insane, and it would not be perfect for his Ultra Instinct, of course. So, Issei will actually get destroyed by Volley, where Volley will pick Issei up, as he would start squeezing him and he would throw him towards the ground. Gabriel and Yasuka will actually kind of be worried for actually Issei, or actually Irina, as Issei would actually be coughing up blood while Volley, he would, like, Issei just de-transform out his actually balance breakup. Volley would pick Issei up and he would prepare him to actually pretty much kill him, of course, by squeezing him. While Volley's actually squeezing Issei started to actually activate his Ultra Instinct. He started to glow a blue light, and with this burst of energy, he activated his Ultra Instinct. And with this, Volley will actually sense the divine power that was actually radiating off actually Issei and Surdex and Azazel. actually kind of felt this energy before. It was just only about like 2 weeks ago they felt this at the exact same energy. This holy divine energy they actually felt. It was so immense. It was so godly looking. So of course we go to the fight. As this Volley was actually so surprised by this. He actually asked, "What is this?" Albion was actually so shocked, and he actually told Dreg, "What happened to your partner?" But Dreg would actually say that, "Albion, you're about to get fucked, bro." So with this, Issei would actually would just appear right in front of Volleys. He would grab his face, slam him towards the ground, of course. Which is actually, this is Issei in his base form, not his actually balance breaker, of course. Because remember, Issei's Ultra Instinct tree is only like how should I say? It's a defense and also an offense. It's not like an assault mode like Master Ultra Instinct, because like pretty much if he goes into his assault mode Ultra Instinct, right, Issei can actually go to his actually assault mode Ultra Instinct, of course, not the master one, but still the sign one, like the third actually level of Ultra Instinct, like, you know, when he would face off against Jiren, yeah, that actually level. This would actually drain his actually power completely, because going to assault mode, it actually drains him completely. He's not ready for it, right? So pretty much Issei is actually playing defense and actually like offense at the same time. But a little bit of offense, but more of defense, of course. While actually Volley would get himself up from the crater, he was actually just felt so much. He just felt a little bit damaged by that one attack. So he will actually try to actually divine Issei's power again, but Issei would be right behind him before actually shooting a Kamehameha blast at his back, shooting him back down toward the ground, of course. Volley would get so annoyed, but he will actually let off actually a screech, as he would actually try to actually attack Issei. But Issei just kept on dodging and dodging. But Issei realized that he's actually running out of time. Because remember, he fought against actually Catherine, right? For about 2 minutes, of course. So he only has 3 minutes left. So Issei cannot actually afford to actually lose this chance. So Issei was preparing to end this fight quickly. So Issei will actually activate his assault mode Ultra Instinct. Like I said, level 3 sign, now master of course, as he will proceed to actually attack Volley from the left and the right. He will start appearing all over the place. Issei was so fast that Volley couldn't actually even catch or even like touch Issei. Issei would actually go and kick Volley in the up the jaw, and he would be sent flying up, and Issei would actually summon his actually godly display. You guys actually know the attack on Xenoblade. Yes, he would do godly display while shooting his actually this actually white ball of energy of attack towards actually Volley, completely destroying him. Volley would actually fall towards the ground, disactivating his actually Juggernaut drive, as he would basically be completely out of it. He was so damaged, of course, he was so injured. Issei would actually de-transform out of his Ultra Instinct sign, and he would fall towards the ground, and his body was killing him. He started to leak blood out of his whole body, and he started to actually cry out in pain. With this, Biku will actually show up. He will actually take Volley, and Volley will actually commend Issei for his actually strength, of course. That pretty much heck, and the next time they meet, it will be actually a fight to the death, and he will win, of course. Issei heard this, but he was still in pain, right? While Arcia will actually run over healing actually Issei, as Gabriel and actually Yasuka tried to do the same thing as well. While Issei was actually truly actually healed up, he was actually kind of like grateful of them for actually healing him up, as they actually kind of commended him for actually his battle, of course. As this was actually where I'm going to be leaving off the What If, guys. I hope you guys actually really do enjoy this, and if you guys actually hear my voice, me stuttering and actually stopping each time of actually like of this video, my voice is actually really killing me, guys, so I'm truly sorry. But without further ado, I'm gonna leave you guys to it. Hope you guys are having a wonderful day, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.